Hey everybody, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff, and I'm going to interrupt. It's me.
Wow,
I
there's
think
like
I'm
an
going
order to
second.
this.
I know, right? The order has never changed
How does
in the
that-
last
yeah, how does that
50,
even
60,
happen?
180 episodes.
Damn, I was just ready. I
Just
think it's because I've
jumping
had
that
too much
gun.
coffee. I'm like, go, go, go. I don't
Oh,
even know.
goodness.
Sorry.
You
Well,
Hey,
brewing?
it's not like
Oh.
Oak's never done it to any of us before.
He's
He's all
sick.
been like, I'm Oak Tree, bye.
Well, he's
Yeah, I've
second,
done that
so
before.
it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
I go next.
Not at the end.
Oh, well. At the end, it's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
He's cut all of us off before. Anyway,
Hey, I do my best, you know.
I will learn how to behave right now. Go.
All
That's
right.
very doubtful.
Yes, yes
Yeah,
it is.
probably.
So, how has everybody been? What has everybody been playing?
I've got a long list.
All
Wanna go
right.
through the whole long list.
I'll go first because my list is very short. I played a bit of WoW this week. We tried Karazhan. Got our asses handed to us, put in a little bucket, and sent back out.
Put in a little bucket.
And
That's
sent back
weird.
out. It's because we got our asses handed to us in a
Yeah.
bucket and then sent out.
It's just the visual of that is weird. Anyway, yeah, that was Karazhan. For people who have heard us mention it casually, you might know that I've been farming for the Kara pony for like a billion years because Karazhan originally came out with Burning Crusade back in like 2007.
2007.
Okay, I was like 7 or 11. I'm not
2000
sure.
And I need help.
That's
what that lean in
Well,
is.
see, I knew Chicken would pick it up. I knew he knew exactly when it was. But this is the new version of Kara that came out last week, actually, and it's really hard, and people are very mean in there. And when I say people, I mean the NPCs, not the people we were playing with.
Oh, yes.
They're
Oh,
mean.
goodness. That place is very difficult. Very
But it's a good difficulty, though. It's a mega dungeon. It's 9 bosses. You're going to be in there for like 3 hours, probably. 3 hours or maybe a little less, but I wouldn't say any shorter than 2. So get ready. Buckle up. Sit down. Get something to drink. You're going to be there for a minute.
Yeah. If you're
But-
good, it'll take a short amount of time. If you're bad, it'll take a very long time.
How long?
But it's super exciting for those of us that are into the WoW stuff and what's nots.
Yeah.
What's nuts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Other than that, I don't think I've played much else. I watched the League Championship yesterday. Fantastic. One of the best finals ever. If you're new to esports, it's a shame that you missed it. Because, first of all, they had 2 representatives from leagues be on ESPN and talk to these other people who have never been into it. So they're kind of branching out the culture into real sports. It's super unique to watch that gap close between esports and sports. So and
That's a good thing, and the fact that these companies have brought in. I mean, my phone blows up. Like I've got anybody who has an ESPN app. Like I have it for regular with traditional athletic sports, right?
right.
But they now have, because ESPN has an esports division, I get alerts from esports stuff going on, even if it's something I don't really care about. You know, League of Legends, whatever it happens to be. I still get notifications of stuff that's going on. CSGO, things like that. That's awesome, because that means as this progresses, it's going to be as specific as it is with other sports. So like, let's say the NFL, I follow the Dallas Cowboys and the Patriots because those are my 2 teams that I usually follow. And so I get stuff specific to them. So now you could probably, you can't do it at this point in time, but eventually it should get big enough to where if you have a player that you like or a team you like, you can follow that team off of esports. That's pretty awesome. And the fact that they're
absolutely.
interviewing people now and trying to get people more involved in it, that's pretty neat too.
Yep, they had their main stream, which had at some point 500,000 viewers. Then they had a little sub stream, which was called the New Player Stream. It had 50, 60,000 people who've never played League of Legends before, and in that one they would go in depth and like why people did this, what are these. Basically, if you've never played
What are
League, these guys will teach you what League is while the championship's going on. It was super fucking informative, really fantastic by them, and I think the total amount of viewers for the World Championship got up to like 9.7 million people.
That's
A lot of
awesome.
people.
Yeah, because China had like 4.3 million. The West alone was at like 3.1 million. Korea had another 2.7 million. Oh my goodness, it was massive. So
That's awesome.
So awesome. Good job. Esports is getting bigger, and next year we can only think it's gonna be bigger. So
Yay, bigger.
Yep. But that's all I've done for this week. Not too much. Not too much at all.
Griff, you done a lot too? I don't know.
I'll
go. I don't care. Shit. It can happen.
I play Terraria at work because I don't, you know, that's just how I roll sometimes. And is that really? No, I played.
Dragon Age.
Yeah, I played a little Dragon Age.
Yeah,
A lot of Dragon Age.
I can't help it. It's one of my comfort games, okay? I've been stressed out. Things are finally normaling down again. I'm good, but I'm still going to play that because, oh my god, Blackwall. Anyway. And I'm still, like, struggling through Deus Ex. And I say struggling through because I'm trying very hard to be stealthy. And as we all know, I'm not a stealthy person.
You gotta do is shock the hell out of people. Shock.
I don't have a stun gun.
You've really all right.
Okay.
When we're done, I'm gonna find you where you can buy a fucking stun gun and then you can use
please.
it. Because holy
the
shit,
tank rifle is great, but damn, if I had a stun gun, it'd be easier.
all you gotta do is go zap and then like and then you just move on. You like grab their leg. You just grab their leg and drag them away. Sorry, I can only get zapped by a stun gun every so often.
Be careful how you drag them, though, because you can drag people into walls and accidentally kill them. And I'm trying very hard not to kill people, but that happened, and I was sad about it.
It
I was
happened
like,
to
why
me.
does it say he's dead?
And then I refreshed the game.
Refreshed.
I reloaded the
Wow.
game. As everybody
So,
saw, I mean, every time I would do something that I fuck up, I'd be just reload the save. I mean, that's why in Skyrim, where you press F5 to auto or quick save and F6 to quick load. Dude, oh, I fucked up, dude. Oh, I fucked up, dude. Oh, I fucked up. Just reload.
Stop fucking killing the damn chicken.
Damn it, these guards. But yeah,
I've been told I'm not allowed to play with the Skyrim Special Edition, by the way, that came out this week, because it's all I will do.
yeah.
So, I've been
probably
prohibited.
so.
Yes. But that's what I did this week. Not a whole lot of exciting stuff. Sorry.
Wonderful. Oh, that's okay.
Go ahead with your list.
Yeah, no. Start off Sunday by doing the Walking Dead season 1 of Telltale's games because I never finished it the first time. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go through and play. So about midway through the first episode is when the real life television episode ended. So immediately trolls just come in and tell us everything that happened. So this week I will not be playing that game just because I don't want to be trolled on. So I'll have to figure something out for tonight. And I'll wait for a little bit before I go back in. Since it's Halloween, I'll find something scary to play or something.
Outlast. Outlast.
What?
I could go back through and play Outlast again.
You've only played it like 30. It's not scary anymore, though, and then it's not fun. It's not fun if it's not scary.
No, I wish I had somebody here to play it so I could just laugh at them the whole time.
Steam's having a big spooky sale, though. They've got a lot of scary games.
Spooky
Yeah,
sale.
I'll go on there and look and see what they've got.
Oh,
And download something.
you know what you should get? I don't know how much it is, but it's on sale. What? You should play Layers of Fear. That's the game that Chicken played. That the house changes around you and everything. I am so ready to play it.
I would not
Do it,
recommend
Oak.
it.
Do it.
Don't
Do it.
ever drop acid and play that game because you will probably like break your computer screen trying to get out of it.
I mean, it's got the DLC that just came out too. That's apparently really good. Do it. Do it.
Oh my god.
Do it.
That
I'll have
game
to
will
look
just
and
fuck
see what
with
they got
you.
on there. I've got a lot of games that are on both my
Peer pressure.
GOG and my Steam, so I'll go through and look and see what I've got.
Layers of Fear.
There's a fear. So I played through that, and then I'm still playing Battlefield 1, which is very well done. And I'm taking my time with this game. It's like because you finish one person's chapter and then you go to another person's chapter or whatever, and it's really interesting to see how each person's chapter progresses. And what they had to do with the Great War and all that. So it's pretty neat. Then I haven't been a pigeon since the first one though. So just so you
Damn
know,
it. That's
the
a
pigeon's
shame.
only that one time.
That's a damn
It would have been a
shame.
cool link, right? Oh, there's got to be a pigeon.
I need like a
episode.
whole DLC that will let everybody in the game be pigeons, so that you can have like one multiplayer map where it's pigeons with guns. Yeah,
That's great.
good feathers.
Shooting
Come
each other out of
on.
the sky.
Yes,
So
pigeons
played,
versus people.
I played that, and then I broke down and went ahead and got Civilization 6.
Look at that smile on Chicken's face for those of you listening to the audio.
I
It's
got
super cute.
Big old
Civilization 6,
grin.
and I will have to say that Chicken was spot on. They basically took Civilization 5 and the better parts of it, and they've just expanded upon what was going on. There is some more to it than what I was expecting. Like, and us explaining it to you doesn't show you what it is. Once you get into it, you go, oh. But playing it is, I just did a quick game. Like, I didn't even choose who my guy was or anything like that. I ended up with the king from Norway. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. But, so I ended up with that. And I'm not a big fan of Germany right now. Just going to say that. Yeah, not a big fan of Germany. But, I'm having fun with it. And I was actually playing it just before we started. But it's been fun. I started playing it at about 11 o'clock the first night, and I had said in about an hour I'm going to bed. So at 2, I went to bed.
One more turn.
That's what usually happens.
One more turn. So went through, and it's some really cool stuff that they've added in there, and I've enjoyed so far. Then the other one is Titanfall 2.
Oh my God, how is it?
I tell you what, I'm mad at Titanfall 1 right now because there was not a campaign. Now, granted, the campaign's short. It's 5 to 7 hours, depending on who you are and how you play the game. If, like in my case, I was playing on a regular mode because I didn't know how it was going to be. If you're got any decent playing ability on a first-person shooter, go ahead and play on the harder mode because it's a little easier than I wanted it to be for that, but it was good for the plot line and everything else. You got Matt Mercer, who's playing the main character, which is Jack Cooper.
Oh my God.
And I am 99% sure that BT, which is your Titan, is actually Peter Cullen, who also better known as Optimus Prime from Transformers. So I was absolutely excited about that, but it's such a soothing voice. Like, you wouldn't think a robot sounding voice would be that soothing. But I think it's because, like, in my case, I grew up with the original Transformers. We've moved through, and it's like you hear that voice and you're used to that voice and all that. But it fits the character quite well. And to me, that's what won me over on the campaign. Because Matt Mercer, Jack doesn't talk a lot, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot of cinematics. That is unfortunate. If there was, I think here's the thing. This is what they need to improve on, and it's something that Call of Duty did really well to get you immersed when they first started out, which was they gave you cinematics to move you from one level to the next. There's not a whole lot of cinematics between the things. Now, they added gameplay elements to this game that are very Portal-like. I'm not kidding when I say that. They're very Portal-like. They're almost puzzles based on your skill set and things like that. So it made the game fun because not every level was going to be the same. And it reminded me of playing Halo for the first time when, how am I supposed to get through this? It wasn't just going through and shooting everything. It was figuring out a system to get from one point to the other.
Okay.
And it was fun. I mean, it's absolutely a fun campaign to play. If you're going in expecting the best plot on the planet, do not go in there expecting that. It's a decent plot, but it's honestly the BT character, which is the Peter Cullen character, and that's who makes it. That's who makes the plot, everything else that's going on, and the rest of it's kind of, I wanted more. Like, I felt like there was parts of the plot that were missing just a little bit, like they were almost taken out. And I'm hoping that, when Titanfall 3 comes out, because I think this will be very successful, when Titanfall 3 comes out, I'm hoping that they expand on that a little bit more and are able to do it. But it was almost like the campaign was thrown in, like it wasn't originally planned, until the first one kind of died out because it didn't have that campaign. But it is nice because it tells you why you have these Titans, why they're there, and it kind of attaches you to the Titan that's in the campaign. So it's nice. I recommend that. And then I also went ahead and downloaded the special edition of
Skyrim.
Of Skyrim and played through the first level, or the first part of it, just to see the difference. And because I'd recently put the other one back on my PC anyway, and it's very pretty. Very pretty. But that's all. I did all that. Oh, and I actually beat the Titanfall within 6 hours.
Okay. Jumping to the Titanfall thing, they are going the Overwatch route, which is fantastic. And please, I hope more companies follow this. But all maps and all game modes, all DLC will be free. Everything they added to the game will be free. No microtransactions.
No season pass.
Like,
I wouldn't say no microtransactions, because I think that eventually they could implement microtransactions, but I think that it's nice that all of the DLC will be free.
Fine. If they do, fair enough. If they don't, even better. Like, if they put everything behind unlock gates, even better. That's what games like that need. That's what games need. Incentives to play instead of incentives to buy. That's why we play games, not just to spend money. And that's what will sell that game, because with that makes me want to buy it now. Good company, good game, good idea. I don't want to say ideology, but good.
But it's a nice setup.
Business.
It's a nice, here's all of your stuff. It's nice to not, it's refreshing, I guess, to not have to go, okay, how much is the season pass and how important is that going to be to me in 3 months?
Yes,
and like, if you get this game and you get the DLC for free later, you're probably going to play it because you've already got it. So
right, and the
longevity.
day one patch, 88 megabytes. Come on.
Yes, in the article from Eurogamer, I think it was it was called Adorably Small Patch.
Adorably tiny patch. I mean, so far, Titanfall 2 is doing it right. They definitely have buried their mistakes from the first game and came out with this one, and everyone's like, all right, we could check this one out.
Well, and the thing is with the first game, I think you played it a little bit, Chicken, too. The first game, mechanics were amazing on the game.
Absolutely, but it didn't have anything to like stick you to it.
Yeah, and there's nothing to grab you to it, and I think with the beta, I think they had slowed the mechanics down a little bit, and people were upset about it, so they went ahead and sped the mechanics back up. It's seriously the game pace on some of the stuff that you do inside the campaign. I'm playing and I'm like, this feels so good because I can play at my pace. I can go the direction I want to. I felt like I had, even though it's linear, in the way that they're doing things, they're presenting it in such a way that you feel like you can do that linear any way you want to, and they're giving you those options, right? Because you can either climb one direction or you can jump across a wall or whatever it is you need to do. And so that part of it's really fun. I went ahead and played some of the multiplayer just to see. Multiplayer-wise, it didn't really change much. Go figure, right? There's not a whole lot of difference. One of the things, and I don't remember it from the last one, so I'm assuming this is new, was a grappling hook.
I think that was in the first one, because it reminded me a lot of Lost Planet.
Yeah, because I don't remember having the grappling hook before. But I used it a lot in the default setup that they had on there. So, and as you go through, you unlock more of the different loadouts and stuff that you can have. And the same thing for the Titans. And some of the new weaponry and stuff is really cool. So I am interested to see what they end up doing it now that they've gone with this model without having to pay the extra money for the DLC. I think it was $20 last time when the first one came out. For the DLC for the season pass, so without having that regular season pass now, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'll probably end up picking it up at some point.
I paid $40
looks like
for
everybody's
it.
responding well.
Yeah, I paid $40 for it because
$40 and it's an absolute deal.
Yeah, because what I ended up doing is I pre-ordered one game, might have been FIFA, and when I went to go pick it up, they allowed me to take $20 and put towards the Titanfall 2, and I was like, okay, I might as well. Might have been it might have been Battlefield 1. So yeah, it might be that. But yeah, it's for $40. I was like, can't beat that. Brand new game, $40. Why not?
Yep. It's nice that everybody's responding well to it and everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, the last one was good. It was just like Chicken said. There's nothing to hold you to it. It's like, okay, I'm done. Unless you're a full-out multiplayer guy the whole time.
Yeah, like you played.
But I would play the campaign again.
Played a few rounds in the first one. It was okay. It just didn't like grab me or anything like that. I wasn't too into it.
Yeah. Some of the stuff's on there. I've seen some of the reviews and stuff on the new Skyrim Remastered as it came out. Looked stuff on Steam. And they're very, very mixed. Like you have some people
it's mixed on Steam because really the remaster is something like we mentioned before that modders had already given to the PC players. So it's really we're not seeing a whole lot of new territory here if you're playing on PC and playing with mods.
Well, the complaints that they have on there is the fact that some people weren't even able to load it up. And they received it free just like anybody else that owned it and all the DLC. but they weren't even able to load it up, and it's very interesting to me. I've always found that weird that you got a bunch of people that are like, "Oh, this is great, it's beautiful, blah blah blah," and then you have other people like, "Did they even test this to see if it was done?" And it's like, why is it affecting your computer differently than it is all these other people?
It's setups, and that's why some companies will ask you for your specs and try to get as many people to test their stuff as possible. Blizzard, like, they invite everybody from people who have, and this is technical term, from an i3 to an i7 and really crappy graphics card to really good. They want to test everything in between so that the person who is sitting there on a toaster can play the game, and the person sitting there on a fucking Hemi can play the game. But they test everything for certain games, like I assume Skyrim. They're just like, oh yeah, it runs on systems.
This will probably be fine.
Hopefully it works. And then when people get into it, it's like, oh, it didn't work. Oh well, we'll just patch it later.
Well, and I did see a few of those tweets or whatever that were, 2011 downloaded Skyrim. First page comes up, says it's going to detect what it needs to run into. Ultra, yes. 2016 downloaded the Skyrim special edition. I'm going to detect what you can run it in. Low quality.
That's because you haven't upgraded your graphics card since 2011.
Years.
That's all you, man.
Yeah, definitely need an upgrade.
That is your fault.
It's like, come on, dude. He's like, time for an upgrade. It's like, yeah, think.
Oh,
well, the downside too is that you can use your old Skyrim saves on the new game if you didn't have mods. So, like, who is that gonna even be?
There's gonna be people that play the vanilla version of the game, and
get out of here, chicken. You're fired.
That's me. I have one of my files. I don't have any mods in at all. Yeah, my main file. I just play vanilla.
Stuffs.
I just recently put mods on just because y'all were talking about them or whatever, and I'd recently put one on to upgrade the graphics and the water and all that type of stuff, and it was cool.
The first time I loaded up Skyrim, I'm like, okay, this is nice, and then I saw that there were mods that was like better ground coverage and all this stuff. Like Whiterun's relatively bland. I have a mod that makes everything there goddamn gorgeous.
Oh my god! Yeah, so, you say gorgeous. I say overrun and infested with plants.
It's not like a jungle. It's like well-kept gardens and stuff.
Man, everywhere that's not concrete is just like overflowing with brush like sticking out. It's like, how the hell do I get through here? Where the hell's the store?
Where's my machete?
It is not like that. It is so great. I've already prettied up my graphics. I got horse armor because they don't need to be naked. That's crazy face.
I got Shadowmere. Shadowmere kills dragons naked. Shadowmere doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Well, I don't. I have standard pony number 1, and he is pretty because he has an outfit now.
The honey badger of horses.
Shadowmere, right? Yeah, Shadowmere. Like, if I'm getting into a fight with something while running, I just get off Shadowmere and let him go and kill it. Like, it's cool having like a duo. It's like, all right, hop off the horse. He goes after one guy, and I go after the other.
I feel like there should be like this whole
supposed to be for.
This whole machinima thing, right? It's like the character in his.
Just become like a little floating camera and follow Shadowmere around Skyrim. Watch him do quests and stuff.
There's probably a mod for something like that.
There probably
will turn
is.
your character invisible.
Well, with mods, one of the things that we found out about a month and a half ago or whatever, Sony originally said that there weren't going to be any mods for the games as they came out. As of right now, Xbox One has about 119 mods that are currently on it compared to PS4's 38 mods. Now, do you
specifically for Skyrim?
Yes,
for Skyrim. Do you think that those mods numbers are based on the fact that it took so long for Sony to get into the game, or do you think it's based on the fact that what they're approving and what they're not?
What they're approving and what they're not.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, it could be a little of both, but yeah, 38 to 119.
I think Sony's going to be a whole lot more picky. Like,
well, and I think Sony knows that too, because they've allotted 1 gig of space for mods on PS4, but 5 gigs on the Xbox One. Just saying that might be a little telling on what you're looking at for the future of mods.
Yeah. Just for information for anybody that is planning on going ahead and downloading the special edition on PC, the older mods won't work on the new game. as of
Yeah,
yet.
it's
So
it's
they've
a
gotta
whole
update
new
those two.
game. So your modders are looking at having to go back and redo mods for the new script and things like that. And I think a lot of people will probably just be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just stay with my old one.
That
because
is-
we already made it look pretty.
That's
why they
unfortunately
gave it to us
probably
for
what's going to
free.
happen too. And one of the weird things that I find is that the Skyrim Special Edition is $60 on console, and it has all the DLC and everything, but it's only $40 on Steam for the
Because it's
everything.
digital versus physical, maybe?
You
well, I
could
don't know.
just
I guess if you're
download it.
downloading it from the store, it's still...
Yeah, I find that weird.
Well, I think that there is a contractual obligation by both Sony and Xbox that their digital version usually has to be the same price because of their contract with places like GameStop and other retailers like that.
You're probably right about that.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
so-
across the board a flat.
yeah, but
yeah,
can't they
so
just
it-
sell it for $40? I've seen them sell games for $40.
They can, but what it is that discount comes from the people that are actually creating the game. So if Bethesda comes in and they say, okay, we're going to discount the game from a retail standpoint, then they can lower the price on the Xbox and whatever too. Because I've actually gone and bought it cheaper at the store than I could online digitally. So I can buy a physical copy cheaper than I can buy a digital copy. So it's a matter of how they're going to handle that, what they're going to do. But you think about it, there's a lot of people that, I mean, it could be 1:00 in the morning. You just finished playing one game and you go, oh, I want another game. Well, if I go ahead and download this now while I'm sleeping, tomorrow morning it'll be ready for me. Versus I got to get in a car, drive to the local gaming
retail.
store, and then pick it up and come back, right? So I think that that's part of it. But I mean, also with console gamers, I mean, you're spending $60 on the game, and there's going to be a lot of people that haven't played it before or whatever. Where I think vast majority of PC gamers have at least played the first hour of that game. The amount of
Yeah.
people that have probably killed the chicken right off the bat.
I never killed the chicken.
Neither
That's
did
because
I.
you were
Chickens.
aware. You were aware of the chicken killing.
I had no
No
interest in
chicken
ever,
killing.
I had no inkling to be like, that chicken needs to die. I generally don't kill, unless there's a reason for me to kill it, I generally don't.
See, I think of it as food. Like when I see it, I'm like, oh, there's food.
Yeah, but I'm
I could-
I've got a bunch of stuff in my bag already, and all these plants that I can just chow down on. I don't know what it does, but I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, this may be
Yeah, but-
poisonous. Adds poison. Yeah, that's
This
wonderful.
was a bad idea. Let's try another one.
Ooh,
Like
look at this
opening one of
mushroom.
those bags of jelly beans. You're like, well, I don't know what this one is, but let's eat it anyway. Oh, it was a mistake. Let's try another.
The Bean Boozle challenge, folks. The Bean
Keep
Boozled.
punishing yourself. Chicken wants to do that. By the way, everybody, Chicken wants us to do that, like co-op something, and every time one of us loses a round or whatever, we haven't decided how it's gonna go yet, but some disgusting jelly beans are in our future.
Oh yes.
I don't know when.
Don't die or you'll get Bean Boozled. Oh my goodness.
I don't wanna. It's gonna be a really hard game too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be awful.
We're gonna like
play,
co-op
like,
Dark Souls.
What is it, the Impossible game or whatever that's on Steam?
No, we're gonna co-op Dark Souls.
Oh my god.
I don't want to eat all of those jelly beans myself.
What, you think
damn
I'm
it.
any better at that game? I run in and just die. Like, in the first Dark Souls, I spent about 2 hours in that first little graveyard trying to figure out where to go. Run into the fucking graveyard, die. Sneak around the graveyard, die. Run into the hole, die. Man, fuck this oh, there's a little cliff right here. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Yay!
Yeah, it takes you so long to figure that game out.
Oh
It can't
my
be the
God.
first Dark Souls if you've already played it then, Chicken.
Fine, we'll play
We're
Dark
not
Souls 3.
doing that.
We'll play Dark Souls 3, and we'll record
Okay.
it. And every time we
Well-
die, you get Bean Boozled.
I'm so not ready.
That is gonna be glorious.
Anyway, speaking of food and Skyrim, guess what I made yesterday,
Oh.
you guys?
My God, they were fucking amazing.
I made the sweet rolls from Skyrim.
We're
They're
gonna
like a main thing.
we're gonna open a video game food store for sure, or like a food restaurant.
They came out really, really, like, better than I had expected because they're very heavy on the eggs. I was like, these are going to be dense little freaking things. They actually came out really good. There's a recipe on the website, infiniterespawn.com. Got a whole new forum topic specifically for food from games. So go get your recipe on.
And I'll be adding recipes that I've been doing because Griff keeps saying, put it on the website. Put it on the website.
Yeah, there's
Put it on the
there's a
website.
secondary
Put it on the
one that's
website.
for just regular food. So
Yeah,
go
'cause-
to that one and hit
Yeah.
that shit up.
Yeah, for those of
little
you that
things
don't
are
know, I
awesome.
do cook a lot.
I don't. I eat a lot. That's my
I do that as well.
specialty.
The sweet rolls turned out really well. There's a picture of one on my Twitter. Actually, it's on my Instagram, but you can get there from Twitter.
Try not to be too jealous.
Lineham, go.
They were.
Don't lick your phone. It's just not a good idea. But yeah, you can see it.
Mine gave me plus 10 health too. It was wonderful. I felt so good afterwards.
Super refreshed.
Super refreshed. I had to eat about 30 of them to get all my health back.
Oh my god, if you ate 30 of those, your teeth would fall out. Be careful, they're heavy on the sugar.
Ooh.
They're sweet rolls.
It's sugar-based, like, cream on top of a sugar fucking roll. Woo! The amount of sugar in that thing. You'd be better off just drinking
You
a
really
cup of it.
only need one.
Yeah.
Sugar water. I just have a...
No, there's no
Oh my
water. It's
God.
just sugar. You just drink a cup of sugar. You'll be
so
good.
gross. Ah.
Get all wired up. You'll be fine. It'll be okay.
Before we get away from it, since Oak had mentioned that he was still playing Battlefield, I wanted to throw this out there. Battlefield, like we mentioned last week, was a game that almost didn't get made because the execs thought, who the fuck's going to care about a war so old that nobody knows anything? It outsold first week sales of Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline combined. So bam, motherfuckers. Y'all better
Not
believe
surprised.
us now.
Well, and here's the thing: I think that the execs forgot we had an oversaturated market of World War II. Period.
Which is why we went to the future. Now it's time
Right.
to go somewhere else.
Right. So it's like, let's go back to the past, but let's go where we haven't been before, which was World War One, and go in and enjoy it. And it's just brilliant. And the stories they're telling, it's just brilliant. I mean, they're doing a great job of it. And I want more of this. I don't necessarily want more of World War One, and I don't necessarily want more of World War Two. I mean, you could go back to, frickin' medieval times for all I care. I just want the storytelling to go along with whatever's going on, right?
I feel like you've got other wars that you can focus on that are historical stuffs to keep that market happy and without having to go so far as medieval times, because then you're getting into territory that like fantasy games usually occupy, and the people who are playing first person shooters aren't necessarily looking for that kind of gameplay. So I think you need to keep it in the realm of first person shooter, but not like first person archery shooter.
I think Vietnam would be a nice... Well, okay, it's not... Vietnam. No war is nice, but I think Vietnam would be a nice setting to put into a first-person shooter.
Which
Well,
has
an
been done
interesting
before.
thing
Just
to
got to do
see-
it right.
Yes. Got to do it right. Got to do it modern. Well, with modern technology, you got to make a game like that because it works. You don't have to keep going forward. You can go back and show us. Maybe it's a fucking actual history lesson for some people that actually need it.
But then
Yeah,
again,
there's
you have to also be careful with how far are you going with the history and in the embellishment that you're putting on the side to make the campaign for the game. You just have to be careful because you don't want to start telling people this was a real war hero. Everyone, make sure that
That's
they're not
why
that dumb.
you put a little description. That some characters are fiction, but some of the events are
just
real.
use whatever disclaimer that Assassin's Creed uses. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put it on there. Boom, done.
I
This
just
game
think
is made by people of all walks of life. La 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 la.
I think it speaks to how much sometimes the video game execs are out of touch with their market. It was unheard of. Nobody wanted to do it because nobody wants to go back that far. Are you serious? Look how successful this just was. What do you mean nobody wants to? Take a lesson. Listen to your audience. You don't have to do everything we say because that's insane and nobody's going to be able to do that. However, every once in a while being like, hey, we're tired of all this future shit. Maybe you should be like, hey, everybody said that. We should probably do something about it that's not the future. So every once in a while, execs, just listen to your actual market because you don't know everything, trust me.
I
sitting
would
in an
actually
ivory
like to
tower.
see a game similar to this, and it could be third person, but I'd like to see a game similar to this set in some type of mythology, because there were so many battles that took place in, like, whether that's Achilles or whatever it is, but I want something that's set up in the actual storyline of one of the myths or one of the actual battles that took place in ancient that we would actually care about, like you could do the whole Odyssey if you wanted to.
I don't think the people from Battlefield would be the ones, like the devs from Battlefield
No,
would be the
but I
ones
mean,
taking
I'm
that
talking about
on.
the gaming and industry in general, because I think they all had the same mentality until Battlefield came out, to be honest.
Yep.
And I think that's where somebody needs to go in and explore that part of it, because there's a lot of us that they still teach myths. As far as I know, they're still teaching myths in school, and the Greek and Roman mythology, and some of the storylines that go along with it, because a lot of those storylines actually are very similar in all religions. So it's something that's very fantasy-like, without the same, like you were talking about, the medieval fantasy. That same period. It's a different aspect to it, and I think it would be fun and entertaining if it's told right. It's got to be told right, and which, I mean, the Iliad and the Odyssey are two of really well-written stories, but it's just a matter of it being interpreted right and put into where somebody can feel like it. But the cool thing about the Odyssey is the fact that you're following Odysseus the entire way, and you would be able to have that entire story and plot line go along with it. So that'd be kind of cool. But
be a long RPG, one of those Final Fantasy RPGs.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you really could do it almost as an RPG standpoint. Like I said, it could be third person. So that'd be kind of nice because, I mean, everybody would learn. I mean, if you think about it from that standpoint, if you were actually living through that, you would learn and be able to increase your ability of know-how. But I don't know. I like it, and I think they're idiots, to be honest.
The execs?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like, listen to gamers. Don't listen to what you're trying to
What?
do.
No, that's crazy town. Why would you do that? Crazy
So I want to
town.
know how they got it past them.
Probably one guy is like, no, seriously, let's just try this. We did what we wanted with Battlefield Hardline. Let's try something new. So they're like, oh, fine.
Pretty
We already
much.
did the cop drama.
So that's probably how.
Yeah, one of those.
But
Just
it
let
is
us try
different.
it once.
I've got to give props to the way the Battlefield is done, because I think that with Call of Duty, it seems like the same thing over and over again. They'll just modernize it, do whatever. But I like the fact that this is like after they finished Battlefield 4, which was very similar to the other Battlefields they had set up. But then they also had, I think they had Battlefield Bad Company was another game.
Yeah,
that was
Bad
out.
Company too. Bad Company's been one of my favorites of the
Yeah.
Battlefield series.
And then you've got the Hardline it was a totally different direction, right? So, it was set up differently, and then they come in with Battlefield 1, and I like the fact that I feel like they're skipping around, but they feel the same. Like the gameplay doesn't really change much, but the storyline and everything else goes along with it. I think they're doing a very good job with it, where I feel like a lot of players, other than the multiplayer part of it, that a lot of Call of Duty fans have gotten, they feel like it's stale in a way. Because
Yes.
it's like they're just regurgitating the same thing over and over again, which is why they're coming up with things like big giant dragons and whatever.
And zombies.
Yeah, we're gonna
Zombies.
skip over that. That ain't gonna happen. Not in our world.
I just feel like if it's stale, you should stop buying it.
I haven't
Well, they
bought a
like the
Call.
Everybody.
multiplayer. I still go back to sell the multiplayer.
I haven't bought a Call of Duty games for.
This year will probably be one of the most successful Call of Duty games in a while, and it's only because it has Modern Warfare tacked onto it, and they're saying you can't get it anywhere else.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that
Bullshit.
game,
Activision likes money. They're gonna eventually release it as a standalone.
and I will buy it. I will
Yep.
buy Call of Duty
you
4
can.
Modern
We will
Warfare
buy
Remastered.
Modern Warfare when it comes out as a standalone. We will not buy Infinite Warfare because that's a garbage
No.
game.
I don't care about Infinite Warfare. Damn it, I don't care. Modern Warfare. Give us something different. You're just taking us to space or whatever. Your aliens are invading, and dinosaurs and dragons and
I'm
zombies
serious.
are coming
we have
out of the
finally
sky.
come to the point where it's become Halo, so let's just walk away from it because we're both gonna rant on it forever.
Yeah, well, Modern Warfare
I-
was amazing.
I don't necessarily think it's Halo, but okay.
We're going to space. We're precursoring Halo. That's pretty much what
Yes,
it is.
because no other game other than Halo has gone to space before.
Well,
on now.
you're gonna eat your words when the next one's called Call of Duty Halo Warfare, and then it's
It'll be-
people
no,
in
it'll be
like
Call of Duty Covenant Warfare.
oh
So
Covenant
you can
Warfare,
make it-
and they're gonna be in like original Mjolnir armor and whatnot. It's gonna be all skinny and not very protective. And then at the end, you're gonna see you're gonna see little baby Master Chief being born and then kidnapped, and then it starts
That'd be-
off. And then it's like, oh,
I don't
so-
see that happening, but okay.
Anyway, one of the stories that was requested this week was that Hello Games' Twitter account got hacked,
Ooh.
which is, by the way, the first time the account's been active in like a month or more. Actually, no, since
Actually,
August.
yeah, I was gonna say since August, because the last time
Yep.
they tweeted anything was August 24th.
Which is
Yep.
when they got.
No,
a few weeks after they got
tweeted,
released, right?
They tweeted once August, once in September about a patch update in September 24th, and then they haven't tweeted since then until this. But
Yeah,
Sean
it's-
Murray's account hasn't tweeted since August, and then this. It's like Hello Games just fucking fell off the face of the planet. Where'd they go?
They did. They actually, that for Hello Games, their account hasn't been used since August 18th.
August 18th?
Yeah, August 18th was the last time that they tweeted anything.
I swear they posted an account, or posted a...
Or was that Sean Murray? It's No Man's Sky. One of
No
their
Man's
fucking
Sky
accounts, God
is
damn
Sean
it.
Murray's account.
Yeah. So, complete silence, and then they get hacked, and then they're like, yeah, we got hacked. They pulled the tweet down, privated the account for the main account for Hello Games, and then put it back up a little while later, and that's it. It's like, so it's apparently it was a disgruntled employee that sent out emails to Polygon as well, apologizing for the state that No Man's Sky was in, and this, that, and the other. Sean Murray said that they're going to deal with it internally. They've got to figure out who it was, and they're going to handle it and all that junk. So no updates on the game or anything, except for that their Twitter account was hacked by one of their 15 employees, so I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty easy to narrow it down.
I mean, the
It
way...
sounds like they already have.
Yeah, how personal that, if you haven't seen it, you can find it at the website. How personal that that message was to Polygon was just, it had to be somebody on the inside, because that's how everybody felt. It's like, that game was not complete. Yeah, it's a good game, for sure, for what it was, but not admitting your mistakes or talking to your community really, really hurts. And that guy just had to say
Well,
it.
and
Well,
I
the
think that-
apology blamed it on the community a little too, is that they felt pressured by Sony and the community to rush the game out. And it's like, well, you guys are the ones that kind of set the release date for it. If you were still sure
I
that it
still
wasn't
think
ready,
Sony set that release date, and I said that from the go ahead. I think that's where Sony, and then with the lawsuit going on, it had to be completely pushed back every time. And then as soon as the lawsuit was over, Sony set the last date. I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened, because Sony was like, "You got to have this," because they had their hand in it. They had their money in this game, so they wanted to make sure it was out there and it was going to sell big. I
can't
I'm with
remember that
Chicken.
game that waited for 10 years to come out. What was that one?
I don't
It's
know.
just-
Last
it's come-
Guardian?
Last Guardian.
Okay.
They could have pushed it off for a few more years if they needed to finish it. Last Guardian pushed it off almost a decade.
Yeah, well, they pushed it off for a decade, but correct me if I'm wrong, but the same people that are doing Last Guardian are the same ones that have done 2 other games for Sony already, correct?
Which one?
Versus a newer independent game. They did.
Don't
I
worry,
can't
we'll
think of it.
find
It's the big giant monsters.
Shit. I cannot.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yes,
right?
I know which one you're talking
They
about.
did that one in, like, it wasn't Oni, but it was another game that sounds similar to that.
Don't worry, we'll figure out here in just a second what it is.
But I want to say that's the same. At least the art styles is similar, so I'm assuming it's
Shadow
same
of the
people.
Colossus?
Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Shadow of the Colossus, Shadow of the Colossus 2.
Those were
Okay.
both PlayStation 2, though.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That was almost 10.
Yeah, no, it looks
Well,
like that's
but when
pretty
I-
much what he's worked on, is because it's being made through Sony. It's the guy that's making the game. I'm only gonna screw up his name, so I'm not gonna say it. Because I
can't
don't know
believe
what it would
that.
be.
You should
But I
try
mean,
it.
that's it. He did Ico or Eco, however you
Ico,
say it.
mhm.
And Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian. That's it. So no, he hasn't worked on another game in the interim.
And see, and that's what I'm saying is he did those 2 games, and then the third one of those is supposed to have been The Last Guardian. That was supposed to have been originally released on the PlayStation 2.
And
then it was supposed to
PlayStation
be a new
3.
release on the PlayStation 3, and then they were pushing it off the PS4 because every time the new technology would change that was on there. And the guy, I mean, you're right, it's been 10 years, but
But Sony's
I'm
not
thinking it's,
pushing that out.
they already know though that this guy can create the product because they already gave him 2 successful products that are out there. Because Shadow of Colossus even had an HD version of it out that came out later because it was such a popular game, but I'm thinking in this case, you're dealing with a small company that originally, seriously, they're famous for a side-scrolling game about a stunt guy, right?
Right.
And something this ambitious, and they're wanting to push it out, and they've got their money invested in it. And now let's also think about this for a second. What was the state monetarily of Sony back when PS2 first came out and Last Guardian was a thing versus the way they are now, where I'm talking about the company as a whole, not PlayStation part of it. So they've got they want that sales to be in there to up it, and the fact that they weren't exclusive. So it could be a timed exclusive as well that's set up.
I know you're super gung-ho about this all being Sony's fault, but it's not. Like, it's not all on them. Yeah, sure, rush the release date, but fine. Transparency from Hello Games and Sean Murray, him lying in interviews, that's all of them. And I don't care if they're naive or not. You know if you're lying about something.
Right, which, here's the thing, is it's a possibility it could be lying, or based on this letter that was written supposedly by a disgruntled employee, that the stuff didn't get finished the way it was supposed to because of Sony.
Then he should have said that. They should have said that.
Transparency is...
He can't.
You can't tell me that Sony's like, you can't say shit about your game. Because that's not how it works.
But he
and
can't,
they stayed
but he
independent.
can't throw Sony under the bus if there is
No.
contributor.
We're not talking about
No,
throwing him
but
under the bus.
you don't have to be like, Sony said we can't tell you about this, or Sony's making us push this out, so this is going to be garbage. You can just be like, hey, we want to get this game out to you as soon as we can, but some of these features are not going to be available at launch. These are some of the features that we are continuing to work
and actually
on.
it states it right here in the article where he stated the fact they're continuing to work on the product to improve it and get it to where it needs to be.
They are, but they're not telling
2
you what
months
they're
later.
working on or anything else about
No,
it.
they've been
And
working on
yeah,
it for
it
a
is
time.
too. Yeah, they've been working on it the whole time. But here's the thing: keeping in touch with your community is key. Transparency is key in the gaming community. And if you can't be bothered to take a 5-minute break, go to Twitter and say, "Here's what we're working on, you guys," you're not really interested in supporting your community. You're working behind closed doors, and you're hoping to hell that everybody will forget that you're doing stuff, except for the key players who are being quiet and supporting your game anyway. It's just one of those things where this has been a clusterfuck, and they're not doing anything to make it better.
You know,
Well,
and I thought they
know
wanted
this-
to be away from big companies. I thought they were going to do this whole thing by themselves.
Sony's the one that helped them get to where they were at. And they were originally, that's the reason that they were PlayStation 4 exclusive. That's how that works. You buy into the company. You don't just turn around and go, I don't want to be on an Xbox. Well, you're already on PC, so it'd be an easy conversion to go to Xbox. PlayStation has paid for an exclusivity.
They paid for exclusivity, but they're not the publishing company, though. Sony only has so much in this because they wanted to stay independent and hands-off with big companies, which is why they did things the way they did. So Sony's not bullying them necessarily, aside from anything short of the release date. I don't think that they're telling them that you can't say this and that and the other. They're certainly not telling them you should probably keep your freaking radio silence going.
Well, they
That's
could have
just a bad
also,
move.
and as much as I'm not an early access fan, they could have put it into early access and then just updated the game out of that.
And exactly what it should have happened.
Yeah.
And the problem that you run into that is because it's on PlayStation, they don't have that early access program.
I gotcha.
So you're not. That's and I mean, I'm just reading everything that's in this article, and that's what I'm inferring off of this. Is basically based on the letter that was written and everything that was set up. It sounds like to me that this should have been set into an early access, and basically based on their contract with Sony. And I'm not saying Sony's forcing their hand. I'm just saying based on their contract with Sony, that they couldn't put it in early access because then it would put it out before it would be on the Sony PlayStation. It needed to be put out at the same time or around the same time. And actually, if I'm incorrect, I believe that this actually came out on the PlayStation 4 days before it came out on PC.
It did.
Yes.
So they're, again, it's one of those where there's always stuff that's going on in the back because lawyers are involved and you're dealing with a big company, that there could be information that they can't share and it makes them look like shit because of that. Now, that being said, could they have done this PR better? Yes. But there's more to this story that we aren't seeing. That's all I'm saying.
I do have to say, from a lot of the bigger companies, and they have specified very clearly that they don't ever say anything that they're thinking about. The problem with Sean Murray is he liked to say things that was in their vision.
He's a lot like Peter Molyneux. He wants to talk about what he wants to do. And that's the thing is Peter Molyneux's gotten a lot of flack for the same shit that Sean Murray's doing, and people want to forgive him for some reason more than they want to forgive Peter.
Well,
but Peter's like a certified nut job. We all know that.
I'm going to blame the community a little bit here, too, because that's why people cannot share their visions with the community. And that's why Blizzard doesn't say anything at all, ever. Like, oh, my class is all messed up. Well, we're looking into it. They don't ever say anything that they're going to do. It's like we're
And
looking
I would
into
much
it.
rather somebody be bitching at me because I won't explain to them more about stuff than telling them something and then it not be true.
Exactly, and that's part of the problem what Sean Murray did. He went in there being like, look at my beautiful painting that I have envisioned, and everybody was like, we can see it. And then when it came out, it was like only partially there, and that inflamed everybody. Everybody is at fault in this one. Sony should not have pushed it so hard. Sean Murray should have not
stated things as fact.
Yes.
He did a lot of that. He did a lot of, this is fact, this is what's going to be in the game. Not, this is what I would like to be in the game, but we haven't gotten there yet. This is in the game. You will be playing it.
True, and the community always, as a gamer, we've always got to take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah, oh cool, that looks cool, but I need to see it before I'm truly washed over by how amazing it is.
The other thing is, too, is we don't know how much harassment they were getting on the back end of that, too.
Yeah.
Like, because that's something you don't share. Like, you're not going to turn around. Like, this letter is not something you would normally write out. It's not.
Hell no.
So what would end up, they could have had death threats. They could have had all different types of stuff on there, I would stay off Twitter if that were the case, because I wouldn't want to deal with that. And I'd probably even delete my account if that amount of stuff came in.
But other people have said things. If you're having that much problem, then yes, you do say something about it. Be like, hey, we're going silent on Twitter just because we can't, all of this is going on. We're getting death threats. Our family is being jeopardized. So we're going to kind of shut our doors right now and work behind the scenes. We'll let you know as soon as we're ready. If you don't say anything like that, you look like an asshole.
Yes, because if you say something like that, you bring out all your defenders. It's basically like a game of chess. If you're being attacked and you don't tell everybody you're being attacked, then the attacks are going to keep coming. You tell everybody's attacked, your fans will come out in front of you.
Well, it depends, because I could tell you being attacked and this whole thing was going out, especially when everything was going down, and you could have somebody that was coming back going, good, you deserve it.
Right.
This is why, and you bring out more of those people.
True.
Because, and so it's yes, it's a game of chess, basically, but at the same time, as Griff just talked about, radio silence basically situation is, I don't think is a very good tact, but I understand it. I understand why you would do it. But that being said, and this is what I'm inferring this from, is because of the letter that was written out, as Chicken said, it sounds very personal, and it was written by, it had to have been somebody that was inside because of the way it was written. So the game was simply unfinished upon arrival. Our hand was forced by not only Sony, but the community as well. The constant harassment and absolute gross misconduct of the community's part was made it hard to fulfill our artistic vision, while the pressure from Sony to release the game as soon as possible forced us to cut key features. So the features that they were talking about, and this sounds like a programmer that probably started from day one and was either it was Sean himself and he's saying it's not, or it's somebody that's really far up there that's been part of this the whole time and knows exactly what's going on with it. Because the tweet that was sent out, all it said was No Man's Sky was a mistake. That was it. Versus this, where it says everything else that goes on along with that. And I don't doubt it. I'd be disgruntled too. And it's these threats, harassment, whatever, could have started soon as the first delay happened. Because it's been delayed like 3 times, 4 times.
Right.
So it could have happened right then. Now you've got all this, now you're added pressure, and you've seen Sean Murray speak. He's an introvert. He really is. He's not, he looks nervous as hell on a stage. He's not a salesperson. He's a guy that's used to being behind a computer and working on whatever that's on there. And it's like, I'm not defending this guy on what he said in public, but I'm telling you, with any type of situation like this, there's a lot more to this story than any of us know exactly what it is, and we can only assume based on information we're giving, not just the game that was handed out.
That's true.
Other information that was there, because it was, yes, was the game what was promised? No. Was it a good game? Parts of it, yes. Was it enjoyable? To a lot of people, yes. But at the same time, there was a lot of stuff missing that supposedly they're working on to put back into it. At what degree, we don't know. Yes, that information needs to be handed out. Put patch stuff in there, information, whether you put it on Steam or whether you put it on, your website, information needs to be handed out. There's a lack of communication that's there, and there's a way to do it to go around without throwing Sony under the bus. But I do think part of that is correct.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
do.
this letter definitely paints a bigger picture from what happened behind the scenes. For rather than just release the game, it wasn't what we were promised, and this definitely shows that they were under a lot of pressure, which is unfortunate. And I really feel like, first of all, they should not have taken Sony's help in this, and second, they should have just done early access and done what Arc did, not as long, but done what Arc did and just kind of implement the things that you promised. Good. Just keep implementing the things. No one's gonna fucking be like, oh god, you didn't, it's not what you promised me. It's like, we're getting there, don't worry. But instead of just releasing, but that's all in the past now, they can only look towards the future and hope to make a better game.
You're retroactively fixing everything now. So
Yeah.
it's like, one way or another, yeah, it's a fuck up. It is. I've enjoyed the game. I enjoy playing it, but I understand why it's not for everybody. I understand that there were some things that are missing from the game. If they add them, that's fantastic. At least they're making amends on that. But if they don't, then nobody's going to buy the next Hello Games game. If it's something like this, they might buy it if it's the Johnny Danger or whatever the other game is that they do. That's the stunt guy. But it's just, I don't know. I there's a whole lot to this story, and I can only infer off the information I'm given. I can't just assume, one way or another that, Sean Murray knowingly lied to us or whatever. I think in some cases he did, but I think he had a lot of pressure on him, and it showed, and there's a better way to handle it, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, very true. And they have such a long, arduous journey ahead of them. I mean, they've got so much to fix. They've got so many bridges to rebuild. I mean, if this company makes it out of this, then that'll be the biggest fucking phoenix out of the ashes ever. But it's rough right now.
I think the best way to do it, best thing they can do is hire a spokesperson other than Sean, and let Sean put him back behind the computer, working his ass off, doing what he's got to do, but have somebody that represents the company out there, and I think it'd be fine.
They really should have gotten a PR person that is definitely one of the most important things, is you got to make sure that you come across right with the community, and maybe he had a little confidence in himself, but they should have just got somebody to do it for him.
Well, I think that's, hopefully it's something they can do, but it's some of the wounds are self-inflicted, but I think some of it's been thrown on him as well. So
yeah, it's definitely been a mix of both, for sure.
Yep.
I feel bad for him. I mean, no company deserves this kind of flack, but what can you do now?
Well, I mean, it's at some point it's cyberbullying, right?
Whew.
I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, but
at some point it is, because we don't know exactly how far all that extends either.
Right.
But I mean, and people are bad about that, but it's just, but I don't disagree either. It could have been, if he had said something earlier, that people could have come out of the woodwork and go, no, we love the game. You're a great guy, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for trying to fix the stuff. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Did you read the comments at the bottom of that article?
I did
All
not.
the fucking White Knights came out. First comment, the game wasn't a mistake. The marketing campaign and the hype was a mistake. They're coming out being rational. The game was good. The way you PR'd it, worst in the history of video games. Fix your game and maybe we'll talk. But I mean, most of them are, from beyond that, are trying to help defend him. Like, it was not a mistake. The game is good, but you got to understand where you went wrong. So, and that's
I think they've learned some of that.
Oh yes,
sure.
They better have.
You can imagine some of the heated, like, it's almost like they got drunk one night at the place, and they're like, and one guy's like, oh, I can't stand it. Why is Sony doing that? Blah, blah, blah. And you're allowed her to be able to do it to our company. Blah, blah, blah. And then you told everybody this, and blah, 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 blah. And then it turns around. Next thing you know, he wakes up the next morning, and all this shit's all over the news.
Oh, good.
It's like, oh, great. No more beer at the office.
Yeah, just when they thought they were out of the spotlight, if I could get turned right back on them, they're like, oh, fuck. Thought we were done with this shit now, but I'm pretty sure they got a little while to go before we're really done hearing from them.
One of the big announcements from last week was that Nintendo Switch has been announced, basically, which is the new Nintendo console, formerly known as the NX. They have not talked price yet, but plan on releasing in March. Does this scare anybody? Because I'm kind of scared by this, not knowing exactly how much this damn thing's going to cost.
I'm a little surprised they're waiting so long because they're going to announce all of that stuff in January and then it comes out in March. So everyone's going to be like, oh, are we getting it? Pre-order it right away. It's like, oh, shit, better get out there and get one. But if the price is reasonable and the specs are good, I can totally see them and the games coming out with it. If that is all... if that's all good, those things are going to fly off the fucking shelves. If you can get Skyrim like that, fucking on a handheld, man, come on.
Yeah, they say they're not trying to replace the 3DS with the Switch. Do you think that it'll actually end up replacing the 3DS because of just the nature of the way this console works?
No, because people who have a 3DS will go ahead and get that one. This thing is for the handheld games and whatnot, Pokemon, things like that. And that, to me, that thing seems like a much stronger console than this. This is, to me, I don't know, maybe it's just because I've played handhelds and consoles. Handhelds feel so much different than a console does. So if they're trying to make that a console, it's gonna feel different.
What's the battery life on your 3DS approximately? Do you know?
7 hours or so, if I just leave it on and play it. Because I mean, when I was doing a shiny hunt, I would just leave it on in front of me for hours and hours, almost all day, and then it would start flashing at me.
Hunt.
Yeah, and it would start flashing at me. I'm like, oh, I better set that back on the stand. Now I just leave it on and leave it on the stand all the time. But yeah, we'll have to see more. I think it said January 13th, right, Griff?
Yes.
January 13th.
That's what we're looking at for all of the news stuff to come out.
Okay. But yeah, that seems to be a very important day. I will be watching that because I definitely need to see the price, the specs, the games, all of that stuff. Because if it's good, this guy will be getting one.
I think it'll actually be the 12th for us because it's the 13th in Japan, which I think what time they're shooting for ends up being 6 p.m. Pacific for us.
Okay.
The day before. Because timelines, you guys. Dateline.
It'd be 6 p.m. Pacific?
Yep, for us. So 8 o'clock for 8 p.m. for us.
Okay.
January.
That's weird because a lot of their stuff that they do is usually morning for us because it's evening for them, right?
Yep.
So that's interesting.
Speaking of Nintendo stuff, next month, actually, it's next month, November 11th, the mini Nintendo comes out.
Oh, the tiny one?
Yeah, the tiny one. I'm definitely getting one of those. I mean, it's $60 for 30 games. Come on now. It's like childhood.
Yeah, but I think the counter argument to that though is you can get most of those games on the Wii U for like a couple bucks a pop. So if you already have a Wii U, you can just buy the ones you want instead of committing to all of them.
I have a Wii U, and I'm still going to commit to all of them.
I think I'm gonna get one and just put it upstairs, like where my daughter's at most of the time, because that's smaller controller, easy buttons, whatever. That's easy for her, and she can play through the games or whatever. Versus having a regular PlayStation or Xbox 360 or Xbox One controller in your hand is bulky for her little hands. But
I found out what we're gonna play. We'll be doing some old games on the Nintendo because it comes with 2 controllers. Oh yeah,
for your
Bean Boozled
jelly bean thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh
yes.
yes.
I hate you.
Oh,
Bean
that is
Boozled,
weird.
yeah.
Every time you die in Mario Brothers, you gotta eat a bean.
I don't wanna.
She has to
I'm bad at
practice this first though, because
platformers.
you've played it.
Fine.
So
I haven't played it in years.
That doesn't matter. You should play like Kid Icarus or something that hasn't a lot of people haven't played before. Like so she has a fighting chance.
See, if you make me do this, then later we're just gonna break out the GameCube and we'll do the same thing, but it'll be with SSX.
Okay, what wins, score or place? Because I could beat you in the race straight up, but your scores are way higher than mine. So,
ooh, hold on, higher score. The other person eats 2 beans. If it's the first place, is worth 1 bean. So technically, somebody can end with 3 beans.
If my score is never going to be very good, but if she wins, I'll have to eat 3. But if I win, then I get to eat 2. How's that fair? I know just about every one of these is going to go.
We'll figure out the rules as we go.
Yeah. I'm eating a bean here. You eat a bean too.
No. I don't want to risk it. I'm afraid. He was looking at some of the jelly bean flavors, and it's like,
baby powder,
diapers and shit like that. It's like, no, I don't want to risk
black
that.
licorice.
That's
Okay, see, now that's like one of the lesser problems, though. One of them's like a vomit flavored jelly bean. I don't wanna.
Why is that a thing?
Because
people like to do this.
It's called
gross.
Bean Boozled Challenge. All right, let's see. There's Stinky Socks and Tutti Frutti, lime and lawn clippings, toothpaste and berry blue, buttered popcorn and rotten egg, chocolate pudding and canned dog food, barf and peach, moldy cheese and caramel corn, booger and juicy pear, baby wipes and coconut, skunk spray and licorice.
Oh god, that's awful.
Oh, that's the third edition. Their fourth edition has some changed out. They have spoiled milk and coconut and dead fish and strawberry banana smoothie.
All right, we have a solution to this challenge. By the way, you can play Super Mario Brothers, but if you play Super Mario Brothers for every time, like let's say an hour, after an hour's time, you have to switch to Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
As
Dr.
long as I
Mario.
get some practice in that too.
That's that's pretty good actually.
I'm just like, I'm stuck on thinking about the flavors of the jelly beans. That is so disgusting.
Not me.
Who-
You just
who
choke
did
that
this?
shit down. Like I won't even chew them. I'll just swallow it.
That is
Oh.
no, you can't do that.
Oh,
You
now
have
they're.
to know what flavor it is. Yes, you have to bite it.
Here's an option as well. It does come with Excitebike, and Excitebike had an actual
Ooh.
part of the game that allowed you to create a course. And then, so you could actually create the course for somebody. It'd almost be like horse, right? Where you have to create the course, you have to do it yourself. And if you make it to the end and able to finish it, then the other person has to be able to do the same thing and beat your time.
Oh,
And then you swap up the next time and somebody else do the same
that
thing.
might
I don't like that.
that might be
That's
good.
that's like driving, and we already know I'm not good at that.
It's a
don't
little
like
different
this.
on that. I promise you.
Yeah, I'd say
Because
it's a little
it's hard
different.
for everybody. It's almost like the evolution games. I was trying to look at any of the other ones on here. Mega Man 2, which is just hard. Metroid's just hard. Kirby's Adventure is on here from
I
'93.
love Kirby.
Galaga, Dr. Mario, the original Castlevania.
Ooh, boy.
One of the all-time hardest games ever made, Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh God, I've seen
Yeah.
that one on that Nick Arcade show.
Oh my god, it's so bad. So
Let me just tell
wait,
you
this
how
might
much
just be
I'm-
the list of. Oh, this is just the NES Classic Edition, so that might even be it. So I will.
All right. Well, you guys about ready to wrap up?
Yeah,
Got
let's
like
wrap
30
this
million
thing
other
up.
things to do.
Sure, why not?
Woo!
We appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week. Infinite Respawn. Make sure that you go to our Twitch, twitch.tv/Infinite Respawn PC. Join on there, follow us, and you can watch Chicken throughout the week streaming.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Not right now.
Depending
All right.
depending on whether the Comcast stuff gets fixed or not.
We ever figure out what's wrong?
Yeah, maybe get that taken care of. You can also go on Twitter, where we can update you whether or not we're going to be streaming or not. See what I did there? Segued on into that one. At Infinite Res PC, you can check me out personally at MDV Oak Tree. You can check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
3 off. Check out Griff.
Yeah, I
At
was-
Griff's line 'em.
you better stop that. I was like, me? What did I do?
Baka, who's not here. Baka Pickle.
At Baka Pickle.
Baka
Yeah,
Pickle.
Baka's out in Texas riding a bunch of roller coasters, so nobody worry about where he's at. He was at Six Flags from like 10 a.m. to midnight yesterday, so
Poor guy. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
yeah. Don't feel bad for him,
I hate that he's having fun right now.
right?
Damn him. It was his birthday a couple days ago. He deserves fun.
Yep, his birthday was Friday. Happy birthday.
Make sure you go on the YouTube as well. If you go onto our YouTube channel, you can see lots of Let's Plays with Griff and Chicken and Baka and hanging out.
Gears of War is what we're doing now, so
Griff and
then,
Chicken and Baka and Griff. Yes, I said Griff twice. She's what's mostly over there.
and then also you can check out the video version of this podcast on there as well, and watch and check it out. And please make sure that you comment, like, do whatever you can with this video, because Griff actually, and I'm not kidding, a lot of times our audio sucks. She actually goes through and we have our own audio clips, and she puts them and syncs them completely up and makes sure that you get the best quality that you can. So make sure that you like it, thank her, do whatever.
Thank you.
Sub to the channel. Come
Yeah,
on.
I've already
sub to the
subbed.
channel. Do what you got to do. Other than that, we've got infiniterespawn.com. Go on there, join the forums, check out new recipes.
Yeah.
You want some Skyrim cakes? They give hell.
Yay, food. So if you want to get fat, join our yay.
Only eat one. I'm warning you now.
Eat one, otherwise your metabolism slows down to nothing.
Woo! You eat two, and you're gonna be literally going through walls.
Yay, diabetes.
That too.
All right, everyone. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
And I'm chicken.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.